All right, welcome. Today, we're going to play detective. We are on the hunt for the secret behind one very specific date. So here it is, April 10th. On the surface, it looks like just another day on the calendar, right? But in the history of math, whoa, it is an absolute powerhouse. And that's our big mystery for today. Why? What is so special about this day? Because it turns out, on this exact same date, but separated by centuries and scattered all across the globe, some truly brilliant minds either started or ended their journeys. And these people fundamentally changed the way we live. We're going to meet three of them, and you'll see just how much they shaped our world, all connected by this one day. Okay, so our first mystery, it doesn't start way back in the past. Nope, it starts right now. Probably in your pocket or sitting right there in your hand. I mean, really think about it for a second. How does your GPS know exactly where you are down to the foot? How can we launch a spacecraft towards Mars and know exactly where it's going to land? It feels like super modern, cutting-edge tech, right? Well, the answer, it's actually way older than you think. The secret actually takes us all the way back to April 10th, 1813. And it's tied to this man, Joseph Louis Lagrange. Now, that's the day he died. But believe me, his ideas are more alive today than they have ever been. So, Lagrange, this guy was an absolute master of something called celestial mechanics. You can think of him as the guy who wrote the rule book for space. He basically created the mathematical language we still use today to understand and predict how everything moves up there, from giant planets to the tiny satellites that make our GPS work. Let that sink in for a moment. Every single time you pull up a map on your phone, you are literally using math that was perfected more than 2 centuries ago. Wow. Lagrange didn't just look at the stars, he gave us the map to navigate among them. Okay, so we're sticking with April 10th. But now, let's fast forward. It's 25 years after Lagrange passed away. A brand new character is about to enter our story, and he's got a totally different kind of problem to solve. All right, our next story drops us right into the heart of the Industrial Revolution. We're talking about a world with no computers, no smartphones, no digital calculators. Just imagine for a second, you're running a huge railroad. You've got to calculate mileage, weight, shipping costs, thousands and thousands of times a day. And you have to do it all by hand. It's so slow, and you're bound to make mistakes. So what do? How do you solve that? Well, the answer begins on, you guessed it, April 10th, 1838, with the birth of an American inventor named Stephen Baldwin. Baldwin saw this problem everywhere, and he came up with an incredible solution. One of the world's first commercially successful mechanical calculators. And this wasn't some toy. Get this, a railroad company actually wrote a letter saying his machine did the work of 3 people perfectly with, quote, a certainty of correctness. It was a total game changer for business. What he did was prove that thinking, complex calculation, could be done by a machine. He was dreaming about computers made of gears and wheels way before anyone even imagined a silicon chip.
See the pattern here? Same date, completely different story. We've gone from the stars in the sky down to the numbers in an office. So for our final stop on this April 10th tour, we're going somewhere even closer to home, inside our own heads.
Okay, our final genius isn't an astronomer or an inventor. He's a master of games, of puzzles, and the incredible art of just playful thinking. Whether it's the daily Wordle, a Sudoku puzzle, or just a tricky brain teaser a friend tells you, why do we love them so much? What is it about a tough problem that just hooks us? Well, that very question leads us to our last April 10th connection, a man named Ernest Dudeney, who was born in England on this day back in 1857. Dudeney was, hands down, England's greatest puzzle master. But for him, puzzles weren't just fun games. He believed they were brain training, essential for developing what he called exact thinking. He's famous for things like the haberdasher's problem, an amazing puzzle about how you can cut a triangle into 4 pieces and rearrange them into a perfect square. How cool is that? He showed everyone that math didn't have to be boring or serious. It could be fun, surprising, even a little bit magical. And for Dudeney, that was the whole point. Solving a puzzle isn't about some secret trick. No, he said it's simply the employment of our reasoning faculties. It's just us using our own brains in their purest form to find an answer. So let's recap. We've met 3 incredible people, all tied to April 10th. We have a guy who mapped the stars, an inventor who built a mechanical calculator, and a puzzle master. What in the world could they possibly have in common? So here they are on our timeline. Lagrange, mapping the chaotic dance of the planets. Baldwin, taming messy business math with a machine. And Dudeney, finding beautiful order in a jumble of puzzle pieces. Different times, different fields. So what's the secret thread? What really connects them all? It's this. They were all chasing the same thing. They were all looking at a world that seemed messy or complicated or chaotic. And they were all asking one fundamental question. What's the pattern hiding in here? Each one, in his own way, was driven to find that simple, elegant order that was hiding beneath all the noise. And that search for patterns, for order, for the simple solution, that's the heart and soul of mathematics. It's the engine of human progress. So Lagrange found patterns in the cosmos, Baldwin found them in machines, and Dudeney found them in games. The only question left is,